people are deported and all of that. But that's not what they did in this law. That's not what they did. Justice Thomas goes further in his concurrence. He says Congress barred all judicial review of TPS termination decisions, including constitutional claims. Since nothing in the Constitution prohibits Congress from doing so, courts are obliged to simply give effect to the ordinary meaning of the law. He says the termination of Haiti's TPS designation does not deprive respondents of life, liberty, or property. So they have no claim, even if the words due process implicitly forbid discriminatory animus. He says, by the way, that actually there's nothing in the law that even forbids discriminatory animus. So you're claiming that this is discrimination, but the law itself doesn't bar discrimination, and there's no equal protection claim that applies to the federal government with regard to migrants. He says the discretionary and limited status that a TPS designation provides, like any immigration status for aliens, is a government-created privilege, not a core private right. You don't have a right to be here. We're giving you a privilege to be here, and that can be rejected at any time for any reason. If equal protection principles apply to immigration decisions, much of even our current immigration law would conflict with the court's modern equal protection doctrine. And the point that Thomas is making there is that if you were to apply equal protection to immigration law generally, we openly discriminate between countries of origin, which would violate equal protection. So clearly that's not the case. We'll get to dissents from the left on these cases in a moment. First, America was built by people who worked hard and also slept well. If you are not sleeping well, you're not operating at your full capacity. And we need you at full capacity. America's 250th is coming up. You need to be ready. And this is where Helix comes in. Again, Helix Sleep will make it so that you get a better night's sleep. It is that simple. How? Well, they offer over 20 mattress models. Take a quick quiz and get matched to the right one for how you actually sleep. Your position, your temperature, your firmness preference, all of it. Free shipping, the 120-night sleep trial, and the Happy with Helix guarantee make it completely risk-free. It's the most awarded mattress brand out there. It's been tested and reviewed by Forbes and Wired, among others. The 4th of July is coming. Invest in your sleep. Invest in yourself. Head on over to helixsleep.com/Ben for 20% off site-wide, 25% off Luxe mattresses, 30% off Elite mattresses. That's helixsleep.com/Ben for 20% off site-wide, 25% off Luxe mattresses, 30% off Elite mattresses. Again, I have a Helix Sleep mattress. My wife and I took that sleep quiz. We got a mattress made for us, and it's awesome. You can do the same. Head on over to helixsleep.com/Ben. So Sonia Sotomayor wrote a very heated dissent here. She actually read her dissent from the bench, which is your sign that you're very upset about a decision. Is if you're reading a dissent from the bench, you're saying that you're upset. Sonia Sotomayor, she says, the rest of the current asylum system developed in response to the international moral reckoning that followed the Holocaust and World War II. One infamous incident, the voyage of the MS St. Louis, is emblematic. In 1939, over 900 Jewish refugees attempted to flee persecution in Nazi Germany by setting sail aboard the MS St. Louis, which was headed to Cuba and the United States. The ship docked in the Havana harbor for days. The Cuban government